Hi, and welcome back to Today Review. And today we're going to be reviewing the Motorola Droid X2. This particular model was released in 2011. I will mention that I recently got it mainly because I wanted to do some experimenting with it and because of some of its features, which we're going to discuss right now. So we're going to first talk about the item, look into its features and details, and then I'm going to be providing my own personal opinion with this one. So let's go ahead and get started. So right off, we do have a 4.3 screen. Its resolutions are 540 by 360 pixels. The back does come with the 8 megapixel. The back does come with an 8 megapixel camera. It is a 720 as well. One of the other additional things for this one that you could see right away is that the actual back, I ended up changing the battery. So the battery that's on here right now is like a 3000 or 4000 battery pack compared to its original. I think it was like 1000 something, 1540 battery that it had. With this new battery pack, it has lasted me well over a month and I haven't had to charge it, so its usage has been pretty great. But let's go ahead and continue with its features. So because it was released in 2011, it did come with a different or an older version of OS. So the Android that's currently on here right now is a Gingerbread, and unfortunately it is a 2.3, which means that it is obsolete in today's market or usage for whatever you want to use it, which sadly I found out quite late. So you're very extremely, and I mean extremely, limited to whatever applications you use. And that's actually one of the things that what you see on the screen right now is currently what I use. I can't even log in or use YouTube. That's how bad it is. I have to use Opera Mini because that's one of the few browsers that actually works on this device right now. But because it was released back then, one of the additional things is that it does have a dual core 1 gigahertz Cortex A9 inside. During this time, they were also doing the Corning Gorilla Glass, so that's one of the things that we have right here. Oh, sorry about that. It is, like I mentioned, a 4.3 inch screen. It is also a TFT capacity touchscreen with 16 colors as well that it has on there. One of the other features that I was going to mention is that this is a Verizon one, so it does come with a CDMA form of using it. And as well, one of the main key features that I also enjoyed, well, aside from that I'll go into right now, the other additional things is it does come with 8 gigabytes included. It's internal. You are able to expand it, and I believe the expanding form does go up to like 32 or something, but it does come with a 512 megabytes of RAM, and the resolution or video wise, it is 720 by 30 frames per second. Speaker wise, it's pretty good loud. It does, of course, it had the stereo FM radio included as well, hotspot capabilities with the Verizon things as well, and it came with all these additional features that you see in today's time. One of the additional features, or the reason why I wanted to get this particular model, is because it comes with one thing that we don't really see nowadays, which is a micro HDMI port. Nowadays we actually don't really have an additional port system compared to this one. There we go, a port. If you could tell, since it is a used phone, it's quite beat up, but it still does its job pretty well. If you are going to be using it with a micro HDMI port, I would recommend getting the adapter. So you could go ahead and go online and find an adapter for this one, and that way you could connect it to your regular HDMI cable and use it to your TV. So the reason I got this one is because I wanted something when I was traveling to be able to use it to cast it or directly connect it to my TV without having to worry about needing Wi-Fi or any kind of internet connection, as most devices now need in order to communicate with the screen. So I got this one wanting it, or having the idea like, hey, I could actually get this, upload some movies into it and put it. Sadly, one thing that I noticed was that even with the films that are on here, it doesn't do such a great job. So I had to experiment with so many different types of video playbacks in order to be able to see which one worked the best. But some of the ones that actually do work, and some videos that do work, I'll show you right now. So in terms of video wise, you have in and out some stuff. So I was experimenting with layouts as well, and frames and additional things, and it was kind of interesting because even though it has the exact same format, exact same size, exact same playback and everything, the videos wouldn't play on the phone sometimes. So this is just an example of what videos and formats I was able to play. But a lot of the stuff here, unfortunately, since it's an older model, it's not capable to meet up with the demands of now. But this is an example of how it looks like with a device. Oh, then I'm sorry, let me get this. Well, for the video playback.
Is we're missing and witness, where were you? Where were you? Don't let the lights went out! That's what it was! The players against each other!
Screen wise, it's not that great, as you could tell. To view from the angles, especially with light or in darkness or anything. It does a pretty good job though in well lit areas, and it sounds wise is pretty good. It comes with 4 original buttons, which that's what usually phones used to come back then. You actually had physical buttons that you could go ahead and touch for menu, home, back, and search as well. So wherever you were at, if you wanted to go back to the main menu, you would go ahead and click it here and it takes you back to the main screen as well. Additional settings, formats would be for this one as well, and if you wanted to go back to where you were, it would be there. If you wanted to search something, you would go ahead and click it here and it'll open the stuff. But unfortunately, like I mentioned, it's not well kept up with some of the features or any of the stuff that's running right now. However, it still does a good job. Would I recommend purchasing it? Probably no. It's a good device for a novelty item, but its features are no longer supportive today. I purchased it, as I mentioned, with the intention of being able to use it as a multi-purpose video device. However, once I found out, its system and everything, I played around with it a bit, I did notice that, in fact, it wasn't able to do or keep up with the demand that I wanted it to do, which in terms was connected it to a TV or a monitor and be able to play back videos and carry it with me whenever I was traveling. So unfortunately, I would not recommend this one. If you are looking for something small, or if you're like me and you want to get that HDMI port connection, I would recommend looking at some other or newer phones as well that came out. I know they had quite a different series or different types within the Droid series that did come with HDMI or micro HDMI ports as well. But in terms for this one, it's a great phone. It's small, and that's one thing that I really enjoyed, or I still enjoy, is kind of seeing that the size of how phones used to be back then. And for back then, this was a pretty large screen. I'm going to show a comparison really quick of another phone that I currently have right now, and this one's an LG stylus, and as you could tell, the screen size, it fits inside the phone. So we've advanced pretty well in terms of size wise and screen size, but this one of course is a lot more, it has a lot more capabilities than this one. However, back then you still had that micro HDMI port, which I still think it's amazing. I really hope that phone manufacturers can go ahead and give us some new style or some different form, instead of having that same traditional layout that all phones carry nowadays. But those are my final thoughts, the reviews and everything. Wi-Fi, it still actually connects pretty well, so yay to that. But you can't really use any of the onboard features that it has. As I mentioned, I tried experimenting with so many different things on the phone just to see what it can and cannot do, and as I mentioned, it's very, very limited to the stuff it does now. The browser, it's only Opera Mini that allows me to navigate through the online. VLC still works on it, but a lot of other features as well aren't that great. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. If you have any comments, go ahead and put them on the comment box and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you all have a great day. Loves and kisses, and you all be safe.